Hi, this is Matthew Rock, and this presentation is a cost-benefit analysis of a potential New England Revolution stadium. Some background information to get us started. The New England Revolution was an original charter club of Major League Soccer created in 1996. Its home is Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Since its opening in 2002, this is also the home of the New England Patriots of the NFL and was built as a football stadium. The Revolution has been rumored to build its own soccer-specific stadium for over the past decade. As early as 2010, top officials of the organization called it a top priority to build a soccer-specific stadium. And over the recent years, the Major League Soccer has been pushing for clubs to build their own soccer-specific stadiums, and many have over the past several years. Average attendance for this past season was over 23,000 for Revolution games, while Gillette Stadium has a capacity of over 65,000. So all those thousands of empty seats does not create the best atmosphere for these matches. And Gillette Stadium, as I said, is in Foxborough, Massachusetts, which is about a 45-minute drive south of Boston and not accessible by many of the public transportation options of the city. So this cost-benefit analysis has two options. The first option is building a soccer-specific stadium for the New England Revolution versus the status quo of remaining at Gillette Stadium. Now, the picture on the left is actually a rendering by the organization of a potential soccer-specific stadium with the city of Boston in the background, and this was put out by the team back in 2017. And the picture on the right is a rendering of Gillette Stadium. The major stakeholders for this cost-benefit analysis includes the Kraft family, which is the owners of the New England Revolution, the New England Patriots, as well as Gillette Stadium, the New England Revolution fans, the soccer community in New England as a whole, the local and state government of Massachusetts, and the community of the potential new stadium site. Now, this cost-benefit analysis was done from the perspective of the Kraft family. Some assumptions made for this analysis: a 10-year time period was chosen. The new construction was valued at approximately $325 million, which is averaged of some of the more recent MLS stadiums built over the last several years. The impact does not include potential subsidies from the government. Stadium operating cost as well as revenue, with the exception of sponsorship agreements, assumes a 2% year-over-year increase to remain consistent. And the new stadium ticket revenue was a 20,000 seat capacity for a league average of $50 per seat. A total of 17 home games is how that was calculated. So let's get right into the numbers. So for building a soccer-specific stadium, the land was valued at $25 million. This was the price of the most recently rumored site for a soccer-specific stadium for the Revolution in Everett, Massachusetts. The stadium construction, as I said, was a total of $325 million, with a $50 million payment in year one and the rest spread out over the next 9 years. The new stadium operating costs were valued at about the same as the stadium operating costs for the New England Revolution at Gillette Stadium, with a 2% year-over-year increase. The benefits of building a soccer-specific stadium: there's the ticket revenue, which we talked about, starting at approximately $17 million in year one, then a 2% year-over-year increase. The special event revenue and the concessions and merchandise revenue were researched from stadiums in the country's budget, and again, that is a 2% year-over-year increase. Finally, new stadium sponsorships. The naming rights for the stadium was researched to be approximately $4.5 million, and that stays consistent year over year. And if you look at the bottom, the net present value, the costs of the stadium well outweigh the potential benefits monetarily. You see the first year with the land cost and the stadium construction has a negative of over $51 million. With the cost of the stadium spread out over the 9 years, that cost slowly goes down, but there's still a negative of $3.3 million in year 10. So a significant negative net present value for building a soccer specific stadium over 10 years. Now, the impact matrix for remaining at Gillette Stadium is a little more straightforward as they've been there since 2002. So the operating costs for Gillette Stadium is approximately $4 million, and that is a 2% year over year increase. As far as the revenue, that was $37 million over the past year, and again, that is a 2% year over year increase to make things consistent. And with no building costs and no capital projects, those are basically the costs and benefits for remaining at Gillette Stadium. As you can see, there's a positive net present value of $33 million in year one, and that goes up to $39.4 million in year 10. So a steady, consistent increase of revenue coming in year over year to remain at Gillette Stadium. Other non-monetized impacts for the soccer-specific stadium, some potential benefits include the community impact, not only the local community, but the soccer community in the area. Having a stadium closer to the city itself within public transportation reach is very important and could open the doors to many new fans. Having that home team advantage, having a more appropriately sized stadium could create that home team advantage, which could lead to more wins, which could lead to more championships. And that could also lead to more brand awareness, not only on a national but international level, and a more appropriate field, case a grass field, which is preferred in soccer matches, and a cost that was not monetized would be the light, noise, and traffic pollution of a stadium in any area. A sensitivity analysis was conducted as far as bias. This was done from a fan's perspective of the club. The risks, the economic climate of when to build a capital project based on the costs of the project and the current interest rates being higher or lower at any specific time. So there's always a risk of when to do it. The uncertainties when and if this project might take place. There was during this analysis, the site of Everett, Massachusetts was floated as a potential place for the New England Revolution. So far as language in the state's budget of opening the door to a soccer-specific stadium, but that language was eventually left out of the final passage of the budget. And the length of analysis can have an effect on the results. Having a capital project of that magnitude spread out over a 10-year period to pay off might not be realistic. You might need a much longer analysis to actually see what the revenue streams would look like. Some conclusions taken from this analysis. Remaining at Gillette Stadium is a viable and net present value positive option. As you saw, the revenue taken from remaining at Gillette Stadium steadily increases year over year. But building a soccer-specific stadium, which is a capital project privately funded, has a significantly negative net present value, up to $3.3 million negative in year 10. But building a soccer-specific stadium has major benefits on the organization that is worth continuing to explore. So the recommendations, number one, is not privately funding an entire capital project due to the significant monetary difference between that and the status quo. But number two is explore options of local government subsidies and other options that you can do to fund a capital project. The final take-home message for this analysis is the risks involved in building a soccer-specific stadium need to be further explored due to the potential benefits to the organization. So if you have any questions, I would love to take them. Please let me know. Here are my references. Thank you very much for listening and have a great day. Thanks.